Hi, my name is Ben, physical therapist here at Total Physical Therapy, and today we're going to continue the series looking at the activity guidelines for Americans. This is the second video in the series, and in today's video we are simply going to be defining a couple of terms that are going to help us be able to understand the guidelines and what is recommended for us. The activity guidelines break down activity into four different categories. The first category is sedentary behavior. Sedentary behavior they define as anything that is less than 1.5 METs, which is basically sitting or lying around. Now, a MET is simply defined as metabolic equivalence, essentially how much energy you are using with a certain activity. And 1 MET is basically you just lying around. 2 METs is defined as double the amount of energy that it takes to be able to do that activity. The second category that they define is what is considered light intensity. And light intensity is anything less than 3 METs. Some activities that fall within these guidelines are leisurely walking, some cooking activities, some light chores, and various things like that. The next category is considered the moderate intensity category. This is anywhere from 3 METs up to about 5.9 METs. Some examples they give for this category would be walking quickly at like 3 miles an hour, various household chores that require you to be more vigorous, like maybe some vigorous vacuuming, maybe mowing the lawn, things like this would be things that would be considered more moderate activity. The last category that they define would be the vigorous category, and the vigorous category is defined as anything above 6 METs. Some examples that they give of this category would be running, cycling, carrying heavy groceries, having to go upstairs, shoveling snow, or participating in a fitness class. A question that I have whenever I read a document like this is, how do I know that the activity that I'm doing is vigorous, is moderate, or light activity? You can look at a bunch of different diagrams that could give you an examples of certain activities that fit within those categories. But if I'm doing an activity that's not listed in one of those categories, how do I know that it is going to be able to be listed as one of those separate categories? And the example that they give, and this is actually something that I use in my practice, is what we call the talk test. If you are doing an activity that you can talk and you can sing, then that activity is most likely a light intensity category. If you're doing an activity where you can talk but you cannot sing, then that activity will most likely be a moderate level activity. If you are doing an activity and you cannot sing and it's really hard for you to talk, you're only getting out a couple of words at a time, then most likely that activity is vigorous for you. This is called the talk test, and it allows you to be able to appropriately categorize what the activity is doing for you. In the first video of this series, I gave you the challenge of looking at your activities and trying to make sense and understand what does your daily activity look like? Well, now that we have these different categories of activities, what I want you to do is I want you to look at those activities and try to figure out what activities do you do, which ones are sedentary behavior, which ones are light intensity, which ones are moderate intensity, which ones are vigorous. Get a good idea of how much of each of those activities you are doing throughout the day, because that will be able to help you understand if you're meeting the guidelines or not meeting the guidelines, and what you will need to do to start increasing your activity to be able to meet the appropriate guidelines that these set for you. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, give us a thumbs up. Give us a comment down in the comment section below if you guys have any comments. And again, if you guys know somebody that wants to be able to exercise and doesn't quite understand how to do it or how much to do, please share these videos with your friends so that they can be able to understand what they need to do to move forward. I hope you guys have a great day.